Creating YouTube videos consistently is overwhelming. First, you have to come up with video ideas that will actually get views. Then you need to write attention-grabbing titles and design thumbnails to make sure the video will stand out and actually get clicked. Then once that's done, there's scripting, filming, editing, and somehow finding time to actually live your life. And even after all of that, you still have to upload the video, optimize all the metadata, write descriptions, and publish it at the right time to make sure it actually gets watched. Yeah, it's a lot. And if you don't have a process for being able to repeatably do all this, then it's almost impossible to stay consistent and continue to upload videos. Because the #1 growth hack for YouTube is just to consistently show up and keep publishing videos and keep getting better with each upload. But that's almost impossible to do without a system to support you here. So luckily for you, after 4 years of me working as a senior video producer and becoming the director of video production and content strategy at a major YouTube agency, I've built a repeatable workflow that removes most of the stress from creating YouTube videos. And over the past few years, I've worked with multiple companies and personal brands, helping them scale their content creation and ultimately grow their business using this exact system. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this with a simple framework. I'm even going to share with you a free Notion template that I use every day to make all of this even easier. But before I dive into the Notion template, I actually want to walk you through the framework first so you can visually see how it all works. So this is the entire framework. I'm going to walk through each step one by one, and then we'll wrap it up by showing you how it works inside the Notion template so you can actually put this into practice. So let's start with the first one here. When it comes to the content strategy, this is something that you're most likely going to do once, and you're going to do this hopefully right. And this is super important because it's going to feed into everything else we do in every other step. This is ideally something you do once, although you can iterate on it over time. I would say that this is the one thing that you want to do right off the bat to understand your audience, understand your content formats, understand your content pillars, understand how your thumbnails are going to go. This is like the planning stage. This is everything that you need to know to get your channel started and actually succeed. So you definitely don't want to skip this step. And in fact, the Notion template has some really great questions so you can develop your own content strategy. So once you have your content strategy, you want to come up with winning video ideas and the packaging. So ideally you're doing this before you're filming any videos, definitely before editing them. But ideally what you want to do is come up with some video ideas that are proven to work, that they're actually going to be viewed, and they're actually going to have an impact on your business and, more importantly, your viewers. So once you have those video ideas, ideally you're doing the packaging first. Now what I mean by packaging is you're going to design the thumbnails and you're going to come up with the titles before you even script or film your videos. So you want to do this to make sure that you have the best chance at success, and you're not going to waste your time creating videos that no one's going to watch or no one really cares about. So once you have your video concepts, which are the video ideas and the titles and the thumbnails, what you want to do next is you want to actually script out your videos. Now, if you're doing something similar to what I'm doing here and you're talking in front of a camera, it's probably a good idea to do some form of scripting. Now, I personally like to script out at least my hooks word for word. Sometimes full videos will be word for word and I'll read off a teleprompter. When it's something like this video right now and it's a little bit off the cuff and it's just kind of free flowing, I'll generally do talking points so I at least know where I'm going within the video and I'm not going to go off on a crazy tangent. And once again, this part of the process, you're going to want to batch. Like, you're going to sit down and script. Why not script out 4 videos? You're going to get into writing mode, so just sit down, write 4 scripts. Then you can go on to the next step, which is to batch film. So once you have all your scripts, you can really just sit down for one day and film an entire month's worth of content in one day. So this is like a key here to avoiding burnout, because you could just film one day a month and then you realize, oh, I have everything good for the next month. You're not scrambling. You're not like, oh, I need to film a video this week. I got to come up with an idea. I got to script it. I got to film it. It's like, no, dude, like you did that weeks ago. Today, you're just filming your 4 videos, and then you have a buffer of 4 more weeks to come up with better ideas, come up with better titles and thumbnails, write better scripts, film better videos. And this is where I think a lot of people really mess up. So batching your work is probably the #1 piece of advice I can give you. And It's written here for batch film videos, but you can do that for every part of this process, wherever you can. For the next step, once you film the videos, you're gonna need to edit them, right? Now, of course, you could hire an editor to do some crazy animations if you really wanna do that, but you don't need to. You can just sit down and edit your videos yourself using simple tools like Descript. And if you're proficient with it, you can use things like Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve, but you don't need to over edit your videos. I don't think that's really necessary. So really you could batch this as well. You can take one day, it's your editing day, batch edit all 4 videos. Or if you're not feeling that, you can just take a week to edit each video. So it gives you some more time and you can give it some more love. You can do those animations, you can do B-roll, but you have the time now to actually edit these videos. Now you have 4 weeks to do whatever you want to do. Okay, so once you've finished editing your videos, the next thing you're gonna do is publish 1 video per week. This is a minimum. I would say for real growth on YouTube, you want to publish at least 1 per week, because this is gonna do 2 things for you. Number 1, the YouTube algorithm will love you. It wants to just keep serving content to your audience. People will start understanding that you're publishing at least weekly and that you're getting fresh content as soon as you possibly can, right? So if you can do 3 videos a week, amazing. If you can only just do 1 video per week, make that your minimum. Come hell or high water, you're gonna publish 1 video a week, because what's gonna happen is that after a year, you're gonna have 52 videos on there, which is way better than once a month, because then you only have 12 videos. Now, what's great about YouTube is the more videos that you have, the more chance at success you have. You can actually get out into the YouTube algorithm, in the recommendations, in search. This is where all of the growth happens. You have to publish. This is what it takes. Now, part of this process is obviously optimizing your video, metadata, tags, all that stuff. We'll talk about that in a later video, but just for now, know that you can just publish a video, have a good title and thumbnail. You don't even really need a description. Just put some links to your stuff and you're good to go. Now, after you've published the videos, we're not done. You don't just hit publish and then just let YouTube do its thing. You actually want to promote it. So whenever you publish a video, you want to make sure that you're not only promoting the video itself, but you're promoting your channel. You're sharing on social media, you're sharing in communities and groups, anything you can. Get your mom or your dad to watch it. But you want to get people to watch your video, especially if you're just starting out or you have a smaller channel. You want to send it to your email list, tweet it, put it on Instagram, put it everywhere you possibly can, because you want to get traffic outside of YouTube coming into YouTube. If you can bring traffic onto YouTube and you have external traffic sources, YouTube's gonna love you. They're going to promote your stuff because they're like, oh, look at this guy. He's bringing people in from outside of YouTube and now people are on YouTube. Yeah, let's promote his stuff. Obviously, there's more to it than that. And I think in a later video, I'll talk about the YouTube algorithm and some of the things that YouTube will take into account as to why it will or will not push your videos. A lot of it has to do with engagement. So when you're promoting it, make sure you get people to like it, comment on it, share it, everything you can to get way more data to YouTube, telling it that people love your stuff and they engage with your videos. Now, this is kind of the last part of the process, and realistically, I should have called this review metrics and continually optimize, because what you're gonna do here is you're gonna check your metrics for things like click-through rate, average watch time, average view duration, your engagement metrics, all these things that will tell you whether your video is successful or not. You'll know by the views, of course, but you also want to see like what percentage of people are actually clicking on that thumbnail and the title to watch the video. How long are they sticking around? Are they watching more videos? Are they commenting? Are they liking it? So there's a lot of metrics here that you want to take into account, because what you're going to do is you're going to start this process all over again. You're going to take what you've learned from the metrics from publishing these videos, and you're going to take those learnings back to your video ideation and packaging process. Now, this could mean for your next video to just say, hey, I learned that my viewers dropped off in the first 30 seconds. Maybe I need to write a better hook. Or people aren't actually clicking on my thumbnail. Well, why don't you try to re-upload a new thumbnail? Or you can use a tool like Thumbnail Test, or even YouTube's native A/B testing tool where you can test multiple thumbnails. But you want to get some sort of feedback here to understand what to do next. Are you going to optimize the current videos that you have on there? Or are you also going to use those learnings to make your next videos even more successful? So when you really zoom out from here, this is the entire process, the entire framework for continually publishing videos without burning out, because you're batching content and you're able to just make your life a lot easier. And then you're following this process to not just put stuff out, but then you're reviewing the metrics and you're understanding what works and what doesn't. And you feed that right back into the ideation, and you just keep doing this over and over again. And like I said, publish one video at least per week for the next year and see what happens. There's absolutely no reason why your channel either won't blow up or you'll see some second order benefits from it. But this is the entire process that I would recommend you follow, because it's A, sustainable, and B, it's iterative and you can learn from things to make things better. Now, this is the entire framework conceptually, but I want to show you how to put it into practice now. And to do that, we're going to go through my Notion template, YouTube Ops, to show you how we can implement this entire framework in such an easy way that it honestly feels like cheating. So I'll show you that right now. So this is the YouTube Ops Notion template, and it consists of 3 main sections. The first is this top section, which is the quick link, so you can quickly get to your YouTube Studio, your Google Drive. You can also go down here to the video section. This is kind of the main hub of the template and everything that you'll be doing for the videos. But just below this is a resources section. So these aren't just blank little pages here. I actually filled them with a lot of fun goodies. So we'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about the video section first, because this is going to be the most important part of the template. And this is what you're going to be using this template for like 99% of the time. So this is exactly what I use for my own content production. I use this for my clients. So let's talk about this first. This is the status board here. So along the top of this template, you'll see a few different views. There's the status board, there's production, there's calendar, there's status lists, so you can see more details. I have a list filtered just by ideas, and then you can see just your published videos. Now, this is going to be the main status that, anyways, I like to use. It's a really quick way to see what you have in the backlog, what's in progress, what's in review, and what you have done. But to just tie this back to the first half of this video, let's go into the production tab, where you can see that this mirrors pretty much exactly the framework that I showed you earlier. We start from an idea, then we bring it into a concept where we'll actually do the title and thumbnail. Once you have the concept, you script it, then you record it, edit it, upload it, promote it, and lastly, it is published. So this is all the production statuses. And you can see here in each card, I actually show you the regular kind of just overall status of the video. And if we go back to status, you'll see the production process of each video. So while you might want to use this for your day-to-day driver, and you just want to see, okay, I have like this video in progress, you can see where in the process it is. And if I were to move this from concept into script, if we go back to production, you can see it did move back into script. So if I move this back to concept, it will show up as concept here. Okay, so this is all the same database. If we have a video that has a published date, it will show up here on the calendar. So you can actually create a content calendar using this template. However, I'm gonna go back to the status here, because I want to show you 2 really cool things here, and it has to do with these example cards right here. So within the template, they're not just blank cards. What I did here is for each step of the process here that I walked you through at the beginning of this video, I have some really great templates, some really great tools that will help you out for each part of this process. So again, when you create a video, you're gonna go through this entire production process. Now, when you're in each process, you might want to actually document some things within these cards, everything to do with this video. So you can see here, it says page example and it says toggle example. Now, what that means is when you go and create a new card, so I'll hit new, and I'll just call this like new YouTube video. Now you're gonna see all of those same properties that were in the list view. So we can see the status, where it's at, if it's a backlog, in progress, and review, or complete, the production process, where it is in that framework, and the published date. And this is all up here. Now there's a few different little drop downs. If you open up info, you can add a thumbnail image for this, which will show up here. So this is the thumbnail. If we open this up here, you can see there's the thumbnail. We have a quick description if you want to add that. Add your content pillar, so you can update these by clicking the 3 dots and just changing it. So for me, my pillars are going to be like YouTube strategy, video production, productivity, creativity. So those would be each pillar, so you know what type of video you're creating here. Now you can open and close any of these, so you can see the links here. Again, we have the project folder, review link, and YouTube URL. You can add additional links if you'd like. And then under metadata here, you'll see the video ID, who created this card, and the time it was created. Now, going back to the toggles, you can see here, when you open up a page, it does start blank by default, but you can actually select one of 2 templates. Now there's a toggle or pages. So for this example, I'm gonna click on pages, and you'll see it's going to populate a bunch of sub-pages automatically. This is incredible, okay? This is the kind of thing that took me years to figure out, and I just added it in this template for you guys. So please, please, please make the most of this. It has everything. If we go back here into the production process, there's something for each part of this process, okay? So of course there's an overall checklist. So you can actually see here what you need to do for each YouTube video. So this will just kind of help guide you when you're creating your video. So there's an overall production checklist. There's checklists for ideas, for your thumbnail, clarity test, contrast test, for publishing, making sure you're doing all the right things. And again, like, you don't need to check this off for every single video, but this is pretty much what is possible, and this is what you need to do for each video, or these are at least things that you can be doing for each video. So you want to make sure that you're doing this. So I'm gonna go back here. What else is here? I'm gonna open this as a full page actually to show you a little bit better. There's also the video brief and the concept. So for the video brief and the concept, this is at step 2, right? So you can add a video summary, add your title ideas here, and then your thumbnail concepts. So this doesn't have to be designs that you do yourself. You could also take them from other channels. Now we'll talk about this in a later video. I don't recommend just ripping off a thumbnail, but you can get a concept, and then once you have your video concept done, then you can start designing your thumbnails and having your final titles listed here. So you can add as many titles as you want. Some people have like 50 or even 100 titles probably for each video. Come up with as many as you need. You can also use AI to help you out here, but this is a place where you can store your final thumbnails and titles for each video. I also have a section here for just research and notes, so you can jot down any research or screenshots, links, or notes related to this video. This could be helpful when you're just in that research phase before you go to script. But once you go and script, I actually have a template right here for you. So for every video, it comes with this template. You have a section for your hook, your intro, your value, and the end screen. Now this is called the Hives framework, which I learned from Ali Abdal, who has like over 6 million subscribers. So I think he knows a little bit about YouTube scripting. There's obviously more that goes in the scripts, but this is a really good format for you to start jotting down the first scripts. Now I also have a section here for your video description and tags. Now you can write this by yourself. You can write a description for the video, add chapter markers, but there's also some really good AI tools out there that will actually do this for you. So I'm using Descript right now to record this video. I'll also use it to edit it, and then it uses AI to take the transcript and automatically generate a description and chapter markers for me. So maybe that'll be another video again in the future. And same thing for tags, you can just add it all here. Now after that, you have some promotional material. So you can jot down all your email copy for this video. If you have social post copy or like threads for Twitter, you can also upload clips from your video in here, but everything to do with your promotional material for the video. And that's all the sub pages here so far. This will probably be updated, but you can see here what's really handy is for every specific YouTube video, there are sub pages that are all for that video. So that way you can keep everything in one place. You don't have to have like a separate script writing place, or you're like in Apple Notes over there doing one thing, and then like you're using text edit for your descriptions. Like, no, it's all here in one place. So you can just keep it all in one place related to this one video, and then you can always just go back. So let's go back to the template here, because I want to show you here that what I just showed you was this pages example, right? So we created these sub pages, but there's also a second template where you can select toggles. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't like all these sub pages, there's a second template here, which has all the same content, all the same data, but it's just under these little toggles. So you can just click on these toggles here and you can just keep it all in one page here. So you have the option that when you go and create a new YouTube video here, you can select toggle or pages, and you can see right now there's a default set to just empty. So if you're a pages person, click the three dots and make that the default. Otherwise, if you like toggles, click the three dots and make that the default. So you could choose which one you like. You can use them both, but I thought I would include both because people have preferences. So that's kind of cool. So this is the main meat of the template, right? So this is gonna give you everything you need to take a video from an idea to concept, to scripting, to recording, editing, uploading, promoting, and finally publish that video. So what I want to show you now are a few helpful resources just under this that will help you with the content strategy and your overall content production by just giving you a few extra resources. So under the resources, I have 10 pages here. I'll probably add more. I already have a ton of like these AI prompts that I use, like basically a prompt library for YouTube, probably add it into this. But for now on launch, I have these pages here. First one is video ideas. Now this is a separate database if you want to exclude your video ideas from what's in production. Okay, so moving on is the competitor and inspiration channels. Pretty self-explanatory. You can add a channel and the channel URL to track them. There's thumbnail inspiration, where you can add a bunch of thumbnails and you can keep adding more. There's the content strategy. So as I mentioned, this is more of a questionnaire, but there are just so many questions here that will help you build your content strategy. So again, that's step one of the process. This page will help you do that. And I'm probably gonna add a few more things to content strategy, but if you were to answer all these questions here, I think you will be in a good place to have a great strategic YouTube channel here. So similar is audience avatar. Again, you really want to know your audience and who you're creating videos for. So if you answer all these questions, you should have a really good idea of your audience and who you're creating content for. I also have a page here for just notes. It's blank right now, but add as many notes related to YouTube as you want. SOPs and playbooks. So I didn't add a bunch here. I'll probably have a premium version with a bunch of SOPs, basically step-by-step instructions and tutorials for different areas of the process. So I did have one example one here, which is for uploading a video. So you can see an example where you can just create a checklist and a step-by-step guide. This is very helpful if you're also working with a team or you bring in freelancers or consultants, things like that. You can have very specific ways of how you do things and you can list them all here. I also have some script templates. Again, this is the Hives framework that I mentioned earlier in the template, but you can open up this drop down to just get a little bit more information about each part of the Hives framework. So you can check that out. I have a video description template here where you can draft a video description template for all your videos. And then what you can do is you can copy this and use it as an upload default in YouTube. Now, lastly, I have a page here for studio / like gear setup. So I just have some random photos in here, but if you really wanted to, you can go on YouTube, you can take screenshots of people's A-roll. If you really like my video here, you can take a screenshot and then you can toss it into this template. That way you can kind of design your sets, design your studio however you'd like, and you can get some inspiration of how other people are looking on camera. Okay, so that about covers it for this Notion template. Once again, you can get it completely for free using the link in the description, and you don't even need a paid Notion account. You can sign up for free, duplicate this into your workspace, and start using it right away. And once you do have it, other than doing your content strategy, the next thing you're probably gonna wanna do is load it up with a bunch of video ideas for yourself. So I'm going to show you in this next video how you can find proven winning video ideas that'll just outperform every single time. These will help you just grow your channel like crazy, and it's surprisingly simple. So check out that video next, and I'll see you in that next video.